Ladies, gentlemen, and Xenos of all sizes. Today we are doing Jezebel's prologue. She is a pretty little Ravnos, very friendly, very nice, and, well, she's a gypsy. Can't see that going badly whatsoever. Now, Kem. Or should I say, Jezebel? You are human, you are mortal. You are with your company. You are travelling between the towns. Unfortunately, earlier on that week, you stopped at the tower of one of the lords and masters. There were rumours, stories. Some of the company disappeared that night. And unfortunately, your father insulted the Lord. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, but he did suggest that the Lord laid a foul table and was terrible to his guests. Unfortunately, though none of you actually knew this, the Lord was a Semitzi. They are rather well known for their generosity towards their guests, unless the guests disrespect them, and then things go horribly wrong. And this is what has been happening to your company. Horses would refuse to ride and then would run off scattering. You guys are literally pulling the wagons by hand. Most of the men are standing guard and watching. You have felt something out there watching you. Your heart is pounding in the night. It's strange because it was a clear night but 5 minutes ago. Now clouds fill the sky. The darkness completely covers your company. Torches are lit. And you spot eyes in the darkness. And a voice. Possibly friendly. Possibly not. Called to you to come towards him. Maybe the charm, maybe you knew what your fate was going to be, but you walked over. As you did, the creatures of darkness fell upon the rest of your company. These monsters were horrific. They were quite literally indescribable with their monstrous mutations. Talons, claws, mouths in their hands. Your father, trying to protect your mother and your sisters and brothers, stood there, blade and torch in hand, and the creature vomited on him. You saw your father melt as the stomach acid seared through his flesh. Upon your family. Then a hand touched you on the shoulder. Your heart stopped. Quite funny, actually, because when you turned to see who it was, everything went black. Your memory of that night was an Irish accent. That's all. It was a dirty accent. Definitely not nobility. In fact, you wouldn't even say it was working class, it was below that. But when you awoke the next day, there were two wine flasks sitting there next to you. You grabbed and guzzled the first one, not even realizing what you was drinking. As you opened the second, you realized it was blood. The problem is, there was only one type of blood out there. You were drinking your family. That was the night that you awoke into the darkness itself. At that moment, you realized life sucks. Yes, I do realize the humor there. Well, that was a great many years ago. You've traveled, you've journeyed. Your time in France was highly entertaining amongst the toreador courts. Pretending to be a toreador just to fit in. But unfortunately, every time, just as you start to get too settled, they find out, and you're cast out of this town, then the next. Eventually, traveling amongst the circus folk, you came across a circus that fascinated you. It called itself the Lunar Circus. Obviously, that had to be something interesting. You went in, you watched the show, you knew something wasn't right. But you enjoyed yourself. You enjoyed yourself so much that you stayed with them for a while. The ringmaster, though I'm not defining him as the leader, as you will notice, but the ringmaster took a shine to you, and you saw things occurring in this building, well, in these buildings, that horrified you. They had young ladies there to serve men, though once in a while, when you stared at them, caught them just in the right light, you would see their tail, you would see their wings, and once in a while, they would see you looking. They'd wink, they'd smile, but they never harmed you. Years passed. It's now the turn of the 20th century. Stories about war from your homelands. By this time, you were in America, land of the free. You saw the Lunar Circus work its way up to another carnival. There was arguments, dark words, strong words. While there, you saw a young man. You don't think he spotted you, but something about him made you remember him. He was quiet lad, didn't speak much, very much a court jester from back in the day. He would caper around, make people laugh, and then, well, do whatever his job was there. Oh, he was human. You knew that. You could hear the heartbeat. But there were problems that day. The lunar circus destroyed the other carnival. That was the time you decided, nope, I am noping the hell out of here. I am done with this. You knew it was the right time. The cards had told you. They showed it was time for you to take a journey. You thought it was going to be with the lunar circus, but no. You fled away that night. You don't know what happened fully, especially not to that young man, but you just sensed, you could feel that you would see him again. Who knows? Maybe you would. Your time in America, well, it was quite interesting actually. You would hit all of the major festival sites. You have to admit, one of your favorite was in New York back in '69. You had a good time there. I mean, bit of a pathetic name, Woodstock, but you had your fun, and that's all that matters. Okay, Mad, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, $2 from Penwood News. Why is the Call talking about circuses? Okay. First off, I didn't know the British were communists. That's news. Second, we are playing Vampire the Masquerade, or I mean, more accurately, World of Darkness, right?
And no, yes, I'm a cannibal, and I'm not confirming or denying furry activities. You have very odd friends.
And just waiting on Kem to get back here. Her connection must have dropped off. Sorry about that. There she is. All right, I just had to read off the super chat. That's all. Go ahead, guys. Sorry.
Not a problem. Welcome back, Cam.
Sorry about that, guys. My connection's a little wonky.
Hey, it happens. It's not a problem. Well, you have traveled your way around America. You've made your money. You've made friends, lost friends. You've always remembered the monsters that killed your family. You have found out that they belonged to a clan called the Semitsi, the Flesh Crafters, also known as the Fiends. Now, I'm not saying that you consider them your enemy, but there is no way you would trust one of those. Just every time you even think about it, you see your papa's face melting. Well, that's just made life very interesting. As Dodge disappeared. Okay. It's now the 1980s. Fashion has fashion has done what fashion has done. Quite why these people are wearing socks around their ankles, you're not entirely certain, but it seems to be a human thing. And you've moved your way to the northwest. You are in Vancouver in Washington. To set yourself up, you made yourself useful to the Baron. You've been reading his fortune, helping out here and there. After all, illusionists are always wanted. When the Baron says to you, it's going to be time soon, we're going to take that damn place. I want Portland. I've put the word out. I'm looking for the right people. I want you involved. How do you feel, Jez?
I'm with you 100%. But
Good.
what's in it for me?
Well, we'll start with my good graces. That's always worth having. Second, a lady like you should be in one of the big cities, not this little burg. You go there, maybe you find a way to fit in amongst the stick up the ass Camarilla. I will let you know when I've picked my team for you. Be prepared. It could be any night now. Unfortunately, it took a damn sight longer than that. But soon, you are called in to meet the rest of the team. As you're walking towards the Baron's room, you recognize one of them. It was that young man, the one you know would go places, the one you knew that you'd see again. He hasn't seen you yet. You walk in behind him, mysterious smile on your face. You can tell that two of them are family, just the way they argue. You remember the arguments you would have with your brothers. It's fun to see. And the final one, wow, it's not difficult to recognize a Nosferatu when you see one. And that is your prologue, getting you ready for the beginning of your game. Any questions, Ken?
No, wunderbar.
You comfortable with all of that? Anything that you think maybe we could have put a bit more in? I do like to get feedback from my players, as you know.
It might just want to be noted that when my family was killed, it was in the 1700s. So
Okay.
it was a long time before other people.
Yeah. Oh no, if you notice, I made sure to describe it as torches and swords.
I did. That was wonderful.
Okay. If you're oh, go on.
I was thinking about having a mentor, however, that was a Sumitsi.
No.
That would make for. Well, I mean, it does beg to question, though, why is my family's blood there when I wake if I was not with Sumitsis?
True. True. Well, if you do have mentor on your sheet, you can take a Samitsi, but you have a hatred of a certain specific Samitsi. And one day you'd like to go back and get your vengeance. It's not a driving force in you. It's not something that burns your soul every single night.
I was thinking more there's only one Samitsi that I actually accept, and that's the one that I wake up in the house of.
Okay.
because my sire is unknown.
Yes.
I didn't actually meet my sire when he made me, so my mentor was one of the Sumitsis that pitied me.
A very rare event with the Smitsi.
Well, with somebody my background, I would be beneficial.
That is very true. The gypsies are one of the few types of humans that the Smitsi almost respect. And although that may sound unfriendly, no. They give the gypsies more respect than they do the La Sombra. But then again, who respects those shadow crafters? What good are they anyway?
Agreed.
I'm waiting to see if Dodge is going to explode or he's just
Yeah, a bunch of haters around here.
Waiting.
Looks like he woke up. Good. But anyway, you'll notice I did put in the you and him meeting, even though he doesn't even know it. I thought that worked. And I like the idea of your character going into the room last. I think that's going to work, because after all, Doku's probably going to be concentrating on the others until he turns round.
And like I said before, he wouldn't actually know me because he doesn't remember his human days that well. I might be familiar, but he doesn't know why.
Yep, I
So
agree.
that was perfect.
Okay. Well, is there anything more you want to say, Dodge? Otherwise, I would say we was done here. No, okie dokie.
No, I'm good unless well, there's Yorkie, so who knows? Maybe we'll be getting the last prologue out of the way here soon. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Yep.
Doku, any input before I go ahead and end the short prologue here?
No, I thought it was good. I got nothing to say. Kudos. Good job, dude.
Thank you. In that case, Dodge, I'd say we were done.
Yep.
I'll
Good
let you
night. Good luck. Yeah. Good night. Good luck. Once again, I'd like to thank the storyteller. It's
Yeah,
actually
thank
not
you.
the easiest thing in the world to come up with a story. Especially, I don't believe you wrote this one out at all. I don't think you ever really write them out, do you?
No, if I write things out, things go wrong. I work better. I work better feeling the story than writing the story.
You're not a plot.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're out of here.
Thanks, guys.